If you want to make the setup for customer groups in Microsoft Dynamics 365, so you have to open account receivable, setup area, customer groups. The customer groups, which is a mandatory field, a mandatory setup field in order to can create new customers. So at least you have to create one customer groups in order to can create customer records. You can assign the customer records to one customer group only. The customer groups is used for uh, insert the default setup which relate to customer groups to the customer records when you create new customer. So for example, here in the customer groups, here is the customer group ID, here is the description, here terms of payments, time between invoice due date and the payment date, default rate of reasons, default tax group, price includes sales tax. So if you create any customer and link it with this customer group, so this default setup will be integrated to the new customer records, and also you can change it for the customer record. So if you want to create new customer groups, again from account is receivable, setup area, customer groups, click new. Here the customer group ID, I can write 110. The description here, the customer groups is specific setup as per each legal entity, so that each legal entity can make the setup for customer groups as its needs. For example, here I can write here foreign customers like this. I can select the default terms of payment, for example, cash on delivery, or I can keep it blank for all this setup, which it will be generated while you are creating a new customer. Time between invoice date and the payment date, maybe cash on delivery. Default right of reason, which mean reason codes, you can set up the reason codes which will be integrated while you make write off for customer balance. So you can use this reason code. Default tax group, here you can select the sales tax group which will be generated once you create new customer linked to this group. For example, here we can select 5%. For example, price includes sales tax. You can click checkbox, so that if you click checkbox, which mean you will post the amounts, total amounts, and the Microsoft Dynamics 365 will deduct from it the sales tax amount. If you clear like this, so it means you will enter the net amount only, and Microsoft Dynamics 365 will add the sales tax to this amount to the total invoice amount. Once you finish, click save. Here also in setup area here, if you need to make the item posting setup which related to sales, you can make the setup for item posting. We will see the setup in details in inventory module, but here also if you want, after you finish, click save and close the screen. Also here under setup, there is default financial dimensions which it will be integrated once you create new customer. It will take this dimension by default. You can take it or you can ignore. Once you finish, click save and close the screen. Thank you.